Lot of discussions are going on about the Agnipath scheme recently announced by Ministry of Defence. Now what does Lieutenant General D.B. Shekatkar, the former chairman of Shekatkar committee, has to say about it? Let's talk to him. Yes, sir, what would you like to say?
The committee of experts, which was appointed by the Government of India, Ministry of Defence in 2016, which had worked on this issue, somehow or other it has been known as Shekatkar committee, but actually it is the committee of experts. We have said very clearly in bold letters, obesity of numbers does not win you the war. You can have 20 lakh army. Today we have got 14.5 lakh, 15 lakh. You can have 20 lakh army. But if that army is not equipped properly, not trained properly, not motivated properly, not guided properly, you can never win the war. I am working on a concept. I am doing a study. Why large armies do not win small wars? Nowhere in the world. I do not want to name those nations which have not won a single war since Second World War. After that, they have run away from those places. It will be wrong for me to name those countries. The world knows about it. And they are the so-called superpower. Similarly, we can have 20 lakh army in India, armed forces. But if we don't equip them properly, if we don't administer them properly, if we don't motivate them properly, then what is the purpose of just increasing the number? And therefore, based on this thought process and analysis, the committee had recommended that India should have a lean and slim army, more agile, more effective, more battle-oriented army. That is the nutshell was the origin. What does that mean? That means you should be able to reduce the number of people who are working in the armed forces by improving the quality. We also recommended that there is a possibility that one person may be doing two jobs. For example, today you are interviewing me. And if required, you can sit in the TV room also and you can give a commentary also. It's a question of training the point. The person who is driving a tank today, he can drive the other machine also at the point with basic training on the point. So therefore, dual role was also there. This, in addition to this, the concept of emergency commission which was there in 62 war, after 62 war, 65 war, 71 war, it was there that during emergency officers came, they joined, they worked for some time and then they went away. Then started the short service commission in officers training academy in Chennai. 5 years commission course is given. Today our ladies are also working there. They are getting trained. They come for some time. They work for 5 years. And based on their functioning capability, they are selected for permanent commission. There is no quota. There is no percentage. All those who are found fit will work the thing. Same concept has now been reduced in the concept of Agneepath, and the Sainik are known as Agniveer. They will also work for 4 years. They will be enrolled. Based on their performance for 4 years, they will be selected. How many can be retained? At the moment, the concept is probably 25%. It doesn't mean that 75% will be thrown out on the street. No, sir, that is wrong. They will be given adequate training. They can go and work outside. Just only yesterday, Honorable Home Minister of India has announced that those who are coming out of the Agnipath scheme, they will be absorbed. They will be given the job in CRPF, in BSF, in ITBP, and other related works in the Ministry of Home Affairs. I am also very sure, I am actually 200% sure, even the state government will find it easy to get these people and get them in police job. The CID department, there are any number of them. Suppose somebody is going out of the Air Force, he will be absorbed immediately by the civil airlines. If somebody is going from Navy, they will be taken by the merchant shipping on the things. And those who are going out of the army will be taken suitably by companies. Yesterday I heard on the television said, the industrialists themselves are saying that we'll be too happy to absorb them. So this misconception, the wrong perceptions, the wrong propaganda, deliberately being done, the scheme was not like. It is probably to show the government of India in poor light, and create a, I will say, the mind, confused mind, particularly young generation, because they don't know the concept. They are new to this concept. And whatever people say, they start believing it. But I'm 100% sure that after 4 years or 5 years, when we take the account of the entire scheme, this will be a very useful scheme.
But there are those youth who are getting trained to join army through recruitment. They are in a dual mind that what if they have to leave the army after 4 years, the unemployment will rise.
No, sir. After all, they also have been living after 7 years. After 15 years, they have been living. Some people, they just came here, they served for 2 years and they retired, went on retirement. They got discharged. During my service, I had this experience that a boy came, he got trained, and just within 2 years he said, I want to go home. Of course, we explained to them that you will not get any benefit out of this. But in this case, it is totally announced. It is part of the government scheme. Nobody is being thrown out because he was not required. People will be being sent out because they could not be given 100% employment.
There are
It doesn't mean that only 25% who have been retained were good and rest were bad. No. Comparative merit is being made. And like, for example, in examinations, in university examination, we have 100 students appearing. Somebody will come first, somebody will come 7th, somebody will come 25th. So there will be, say, all right, below 25, but who have come will be given the alternative thing. Exactly the same way. They will be working. I am not saying they are being examined. It will be wrong statement on my part if I make sure. But based on their performance for 4 years, they will be judged and they will be retained. In the end, I want to assure it through your channel to those who are the viewers that please, for God's sake, don't get carried away by this wrong propaganda. I don't want to name anybody who is doing it and why they are doing it. But this is the aim, to let down the government of India.
Is it need of the hour to bring in corporate culture in Indian Army?
Corporate culture in Indian Army is not required. You need war culture in Indian Army, security culture. But corporate culture, we are trying to bring, so again the committee recommendation is corporatization of the Ordnance Factory Board. There where the corporatization comes. Because the moment you use corporate, the things start with profit orientation. We forget the part. We start misinterpreting the whole thing. So corporate culture, what is corporate culture? That everybody is accountable to his own job. That is corporate world. Same thing is happening here also. But to call it a corporate culture may not be a correct word, a correct sentence. But we want to have efficiency culture, efficient culture, the war fighting culture, the security culture, the defense culture.
So you have heard the positive side of Agnipath scheme. With cameraman Gopal Harne, this is Pankaj Khelkar in Pune for India Today.